Fourth year is the time to play in the ground where companies come and you are just ready to perform and get into that.
Hello everyone. Today we would be in conversation with one of our own students from JSPM Rajarshi Shahu College of Engineering. She is currently studying in fourth year computer engineering, and let's welcome her. She's from computer science branch. And first of all, congratulations, Sakshi, on being placed into so many of the companies with a package over 5 lakhs. That is a big deal because not many people do it like in Jiffy. But today we'll be talking with Sakshi on a very basic thing, that is her placement in Veritas, all right, in Veritas technology. And over the conversation, we'll try to get this one thing, that how did she do it? What were the skills that she made to possess in her resume, her CV, herself, and the kind of challenges that she faced over the time in the interview process, in the coding rounds, in the different rounds that were there. So first of all, welcome, Sakshi.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think this is the best deal of all of these series, MS series, the Alumni Talk series, is that we seniors and we juniors have that connect where we know exactly how to do it, especially the placement part or the rounds that kind of come. So first of all, congratulations, Sakshi, on being placed into packages over 5 lakhs, right? So would you like to tell our audience what are all the packages that you have got, so that they would also get a small overview of what you are?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much for such a wonderful introduction, Lavish. Talking about my placement, I totally got 3 offers. First one is Veritas, second is TCS Digital, and the third one is Zorient. I just applied for these 3 and got selected into it.
Right. That's awesome. So let's come to the first part, Sakshi. How satisfied were you when you got a college like JSPM after CET or after JEE? How satisfied were you?
Okay, so I was very much satisfied because I am living in this area for about 20 to 25 years, and getting into a reputed college like JSPM is not a small thing. First of all, we all know how the tense environment of 12th is. First of all, cracking that competitive exam and getting over from competition, which is such a huge, and that is the phase we get through a lot of changes, our emotional changes, and it is the time where we come to know what exactly competition means, or what exactly means to rise above the competition. So after I cleared my CET, and when I got my first round results, and I got to know that I am into JSPM, and that too into computer science branch, which I dreamed to be in. So I was very much satisfied. I did not look forward, and I did not give a thought to choose it, and I got admitted into it.
Right. That means you were pretty much satisfied with the college you have got. All right.
Yes.
Let's come to your branch. Why computer science to any other branch, mechanical, civil, or electrical?
Why computer science? First thing is, I had my bifocal subject computer science in my 11th and 12th standard. So that was a base wherein I came to know what actually computer science is. And the second thing, I chose computer engineering over my other dreams, or over my other career options was I have a lot of interest in psychology. Whenever I get time, I go deep and try to learn the facts and the concepts in psychology. And I am not wrong when I say computer science is a linking, or computer science is a bridge between psychology and a technical world, automation itself. Because if we see the progress which computer science is doing, we are trying to understand how human works, or we are trying to make machine work like a human. So it is not less than studying or decoding the psychology of humans. So that was my second preference why I choose computer. And also I wanted to learn about the technical field or technology like computer, wherein I can make use of data. As we all know,
Right.
data is a new oil, and I'm very much interested in data field. I wanted to learn something wherein I can automate, or wherein I can code something. So that is
Right.
why I choose computer as my branch.
Right. So while you come into computer, being admitted into computer science, was it that coding जब देखा तो it was like it was a shock that this is not something I expected, but it is like computer. When someone says computer, everything is like fancy, you know, being into big words, programming, software developer, software engineer, this and that. But when you actually sit there with the computer and try to operate it, was it easy for you, or it was a kind of shock somewhere?
As getting into computer, expected there will be coding and there will be a job wherein I had to sit. I will sit for hours and hours and just solving one problem, not knowing that whether I'll get output or not, or I'll spend my whole time just removing the bugs and getting the
Right,
output later.
right,
I was totally aware of this fact, but one thing which I would like to tell upcoming generation which are taking computers, don't think in computer you'll just sit and code and do something or just solve problem. Computer has various branches. For example, in computer, development or coding is a one branch and not a career. So
right,
if you are into computers, and even though you're not that interested or you're not that coding insect, you're not having that coding interest in you, don't worry, you have other options too in
yes,
computer. in
yes,
in computer, just one thing which we need to be aware of, we need to develop our logic towards problem. We need to solve problem logically. So, and we can solve it by coding, and also many other options. So
right.
not knowing coding is not a big deal.
Yeah, yeah. I think this was
Yes.
something that you should have told the audience, to be honest, because many a times when someone into computer engineering, into information technology, or into any other branches now, because the core branches also take jobs into IT nowadays.
Mhm.
So the thing is that when they say that we don't know coding, that is when they feel that we are finished with the career. We don't have like, we have to like shift to a different line, for example, MBA or something which is non-technical. But I
Mhm.
think a senior talking after taking so many placements into technical and saying that coding is not something that is the only base of you being a good computer careered person is something which is very important to tell to the audience. Now let's get to your coding skills. That how good were you with your coding skills, and if you were good, how did you develop them?
Okay. So speaking about my coding skill, I will still rate myself as average, because
Okay,
in order to become expert, we have to give our lives, and still whole career is remain to
right,
me saying me I am expert in coding.
right,
But being average doesn't mean that we cannot stand in the competition, because what company is expecting not to be us expert, they are expecting us to be cleared with the basic concepts.
right,
And I suggest everyone to start their coding with a simple language, for example C++, because C is outdated. We just need to know why C was and why C++ came. So that is
right,
just we why we should know C and some basic concepts in C. C++ is a very basic language. If we know C++, if we start learning C++, we can learn any other languages, even Java, even Python, or the other trendy languages which are coming in the market. So I developed my coding skills starting with C++ language. Till second year, I say I was just learning C++. Till that second year, fancy terms like data science, ML, AI were striking our minds, and everyone was shifting towards learning Python, towards learning this technology, that technology, full stack. But I just kept myself learning C++. I got myself hold on all the concepts used in C++. For example, functions, whether it is object oriented, whether they are in-hand, various basic concepts which are in C, and I cleared my basics on that. And after doing that, when it comes to real implementation of our coding skills in placement exams or in any other exams, then I can say using Python is a better option than C++, because C++, even though it is a basic language, it is very syntactical. The syntax in C++ are complex than Python. Python is English friendly language. So when I switched from learning C++ to Python, it was very easy for me because I was already knowing the concept. What I just had to learn in Python were the few syntax in Python. So, and then from third year to prepare for placement exams, I started doing my coding in Python. So that is how, and right now I am practicing codes and problems in Python itself. So this is the one thing I suggest, that don't jump to the Python or don't jump to the hi-fi languages. Start with basic, make it clear, and then you will notice the difference when you really implement the codes.
Right. So C++ can be taken as the most fundamental thing, which you learn
Yes.
once properly, syntactically, with all the classes and everything that it has. And so would be the fancy languages being learned easily because they are English friendly language. Like Python is like
Yes.
basic English. If you know English properly, you are up with it. All right. Now let's get to our audience, and every audience being into from, especially from computer engineering or IT, has this question that we are into first year now, we are into second year, third year, fourth year. So what are some things that we should have been done by the end of the year? For example, first year students, what should a first year student do by the end of this year?
Okay. Talking to the first year, I think in first year you should enjoy your college life. That is the first thing, which we cannot do in this pandemic because we are at home. So how we can enjoy our college life? By being parts of various clubs, by being participative in various competitions or various programs colleges are keeping for students. This is not because we should have fun. This is because we should have fun with development of our communication skills. Because I can assure you, if you have a fluent communication skills, no one can stop you from being selected into all the companies which come for the placements. So get yourself acquainted with what team playing actually means. Make yourself a good team player. Develop your leadership skills, develop your communication skills, develop your attitude towards looking to the problems, because this is very important. So first year, dedicate towards your personal growth rather than technical growth, because technical growth, whatever subjects or whatever courses are there, you will be doing, but don't get into directly placement studies or directly thinking that I want to be into this job and start studying for it. Give yourself that much time of 1 year to develop your extracurricular skills, if I want to state. So at the end of first year, you should be confident that if you are a part of any team, you know how to lead a team, and you also know how to be a good team player. You should be confident in public as well as confident internally. That is the most
Right.
important things, because if you are having confidence, you cannot be mocked out of competition. And
Right.
third thing is develop discipline. Discipline is most important thing. Nowadays we are 24 into 7 home, still we are not knowing where the time goes. Time just flies. So this engineering is not a I can say is not a T20 cricket. It is a test match. We have to
Right.
go slowly, we have to win, but we have to be also manage uh, the situations or manage the task which comes to us. So
Right.
at the end of first year, I just expect students to be student to develop their personality.
Right, right,
And now when you are entering into second year, now it's time to get acquainted or get to know what actually industries are needing from us. For example, nowadays industry is not focusing towards just a person who is expert in one field. Company needs a overall individual who can be flexible enough. So we need to also learn what company trends are, because the requirement of TCS now is very much different what TCS required 10 years ago. So learn which languages are in the market, which technology is there, are we aware of the technology, towards what industry is going. So at the second year, now it's time to become aware of in which field we should be technically strong, because we cannot develop all skills in us. And
right,
that is the time when we get very confused, because my friend is doing this, my friend is doing that. You choose yourself, you think and you go through the trends and make yourself comfortable in which domain you are and follow that. So at the end of second year, now you're knowing which technology stack or which coding language or what you actually want. Do you want to be an analyst, or do you want to be an entrepreneur? Do you want to go in company? Then which are your dream companies? Then start studying or start your preparation towards that. Now after the end of second year, you know what industry is going to, and you know what industry trends are. Now when you are into third year, it's time for you to start actual preparation for that. If you are deciding you want to crack MNCs, then you need to know for which MNC which type of tests are there. You need to select those 10 to 12 companies in which you wish to be and start preparing according to them. And fourth year is the time to play in the ground, where companies come and you are just ready to perform and get into that. So this is
right.
the trend which I expect a student should go according to my experience.
Right, right. And I think I love the way you said that first year is to enjoy. And I really feel that first year is to enjoy because first year is where everything is just planned. There are very few students who are like very sorted that I want to go for masters, I want to take the placements.
Hmm.
But I think 99% of the students who come into first year are actually to this dilemma of placements, MS, or rather there are so many opportunities that first year students don't even know. And that is where first year to enjoy and see whatever we have, whatever as a campus, as far as JSPM is concerned, what does the campus is to give the students, what faculties do we have, what departments do we have. And I think that is when once
Hmm.
we get acquainted with the kind of things that are there in the plate that we are put into, I think it is easy for us to grab whatever we want in the future. And
Yes.
I think I personally feel once you get into a little non-technical things like the clubs and the groups, that is when you actually know how to adapt and adapt to the kind of things that come to your way. For example,
Yes.
if suppose I personally work with over 3 teams in the college and after the college with NGOs, so I exactly know how to manage my time with the kind of situations there are. For example, many a times I had work, but then I have exams also. Though everything is online, so it becomes a little easier. But then, even if it would have been offline, I would have got a different, exploration, a different plethora of, challenges where I would have learned,
Hmm.
how to do that. And I think this is the basic thing that many people don't get. That go with the pace that you have, rather than just see your friend that he is doing that, she is doing that, and just go far behind it, because then what happens is that you won't be left with anything permanent.
Hmm.
Fundamentals would be lost, some learned here, some learned there, and everything would be lost. So I think that is the best deal. Now, coming specifically why we are here in conversation with Sakshi is about her placement in Veritas Technology. So first, Sakshi, I'd like you to tell the audience what Veritas Technology is as a company.
Okay. So Veritas is basically a data management company. It is having its own product, and one of the famous product is Net Backup. In
Oh,
Net Backup, it handles the data and protects it from various viruses like ransomware, which is very critical. And as we know, data is very important for companies. So Veritas works with the data of Fortune 500 companies like Google, Oracle to state. So in order to protect their data, Veritas is building a product, and various technology involved to build this products are cloud, virtualization, and uh, computer networks. So Veritas is basically a data management and security company. So it gives a wholesome package to the enterprises to maintain its data, to secure its data, and to organize its data in an easier and efficient way.
All right. So it is basically a network-based and a cloud-based company, which is going to play
Yes.
with your data and keep it safe, even while it play on
Yes.
ground. All right. All right. Now let's
Yes.
get to Veritas and the selection process of Veritas. So as far as I know, to any company that comes, it has like 3 rounds. First is the aptitude and the coding round. Next is the HR round, and technical round, and then you have the HR round, which is obviously you're gonna crack if you crack the first 2 rounds. So tell us about Veritas, what rounds were there and how difficult they were.
Okay. So coming to the selection process for Veritas. So first of all, Veritas was on-campus company for RSCOE branch. And first round is their aptitude test, which is on HackerRank platform. It is just 1 hour test. The types of questions in the test are, there are questions on virtualization, on cloud technology, on operating system, mainly Linux, and other aptitude questions and verbal questions. So these are basically 5 to 6 areas where the questions come from. It is a 1 hour test and all the questions are MCQ. In MCQ, there are 2 types. Either one answer will be correct or multiple answers will be correct. So in total, there are 100 questions for 100 marks and you have 1 hour. So that is the first round. Second round, after first round, those students who get selected from the first round appear for the second round. Second round is interview round, technical interview round. So in technical interview also, you will have questions from clouds, from virtualization, from computer networks, and operating system like Linux. Here I'm emphasizing operating system Linux because it is very important. And after we cleared the technical round, there is a managerial round where manager comes and interact with the interviewer regarding various situations. The main focus of managerial round is to give situational questions to understand how a person will react for a situation. So that is the second interview, and the last round is HR interview round. In HR, he will basically note or verify your background, and some personal questions about your strengths, weaknesses will be there in HR round. So for Veritas, it is 1 exam and 3 interview rounds. So this is the basic selection process for the Veritas.
Right. Now coming to each and every round, let's get with the aptitude and the coding round. How do you prepare for aptitude and the coding round, and how difficult were the rounds for you, the very first round?
Okay, so coming for the preparation of aptitude round, questions on computer networks. So when I say computer networks, one confusion arises is computer network subject is so vast. What to do in computer networks? So there are 4 to 5 topics which are important, and majority of questions are circled around that topics only. It is TCP/IP, it is OSI, it is a DNS server, it is DSCP. So these are mainly 5 main concepts on which you can expect question in aptitude round on computer networks. Second is operating system. In operating system, I personally suggest to get acquainted with the Linux, which is open source. In Linux, now what to do in that, what to study in Linux? It is how Linux or how open source operating system works. What is the basic difference between Linux and Ubuntu, if I say? So I can say Ubuntu is an operating system and Linux is a kernel. So that and file systems of Linux. How does the system boots when we start any operating system? How does the OS boot? It is very important question about the booting of operating system in this subject, because if I say everyone was asked this question, and uh, those who gave a very specific or very clear answer and they got through the process. So booting is very important, file system is very important. Basic questions like which is the which is the fastest operating system, just to check, are you aware with the technology, or are you aware which OS is in market now? Why industries are choosing open source over Windows, or why open source is so popular, even though Windows is the thing which we learn from our childhood. When we start computer, we know what screen will come with Windows, but still in industry open source is used. So why open source? That is the first question. So these are some concepts in Linux wherein they asked. Third is cloud, some basic concept about cloud. They are not expecting us to be expert in that cloud technologies, because cloud computing is totally a different thing, is different technology, which is very impossible to learn in 2 to 3 years. So basic concepts of clouds and various cloud services. Now, what are various cloud services providers? For example, Amazon, Microsoft Clouds, Google Clouds. So what is difference between all the three? Because all the three are providing services in cloud computing. So why some are popular and some are not? So differences in that. And next thing is virtualization. In virtualization, we need to know about basic two, that is VMware and Hyper-V. Basic how virtualization works or why virtualization is required. Only if you prepare this much, you can clear your first round. And there are 10 to 12, or I guess I'm not able to remember that much, 6 to 7 questions on an English, which are easy. Punctuations, synonyms, and arrangements of sentences. So that is verbal, which is very easy. And few, if you can get aptitude questions about trains, about ages, about profit and loss. uh, so this is actually, so these are the concepts to prepare for the aptitude round. And to note, Veritas cuts out 50% of students from first round, if I say. So for in our time, approximately, if I state the numbers, total 130 to 140 students were participating for the first round. But after the result of first round, only 36 to 37 students were selected for technical round. So if you clear aptitude round, you need to be fast. It is not important that you answer all questions correctly and you take more time. Answer correctly as well as less time. Try to submit your test as soon as possible, but in that hurry, it is not feasible to lose your mark. So be fast, be accurate. So that is the trick, or that is the secret to crack aptitude round. If you
Right.
clear aptitude round, you are increasing your 30% chances to get into Veritas.
Okay, okay. So you are saying that it's not a really big deal to like crack the very first round, which is the aptitude and the technical questionnaire round, because everything is basic. The only thing is that how fast you can solve that basic and submit the test,
Yes.
because you're saying that 50% of the students don't get selected in the very second round. All right.